How do you start the collaboration? What happened between Timberland and Suzanne? So, because it's interesting. Yeah.
So Suzanne sent me about like a 10-kilo box of knits, and I opened that.
Out of the box. You arrive like a box from this design. And Suzanne sent you, as I said, oh, this is the first entrance of the...
So she sent over a kit of deck and knits, and it wasn't very footwear specific. It was just like, this is kind of what I'm looking at. And that's why I found the collaboration to be super fun, because it's someone from a diverse background, not working with someone who's specifically a footwear designer, because that you can get really into it and really technical fast. But with someone from a different creative background, you really have to like think different ways. And Suzanne has a different approach with how she designs and how we design as Timberland, a company. So that collaboration, like, it was very collaborative, very hands-on. We sat at the work tables and just dissected all the different knits, all the different designs, and then just started stitching, taping stuff on last. Suzanne was pitting stuff on the last to just try to figure out how she wanted some of these knits to play, how they wanted to interact. And it was really hands-on rather than sitting behind a computer on Zoom and talking about different ideas. So that was one of the great parts of this entire collaboration.
And what there was inside that box that was so amazing to them? Well, it was like a cake from...
Yeah, I think it felt like...
It was like a big cake, a 10 kilos cake.
I guess it were like samples like these that I sent to them.
Maybe like we can show them, you can pass through. So
it's really mind-blowing when you look at them. Like the first time I saw it, I was like, how is this even possible? Like, is it... I got it. It's instead of the small... Yeah.
So something arriving from the universe arriving to your desk.
You have to pass it around. Sure.
Yeah, so in this project, I really wanted to implement the spacer technique that I've been working on since a while. So it's a kind of, you could say a sandwich, kind of. So you have two outsides, the two blue sides, and then in the middle, like this yarn that kind of connects the two sides together. And that's, I think, where my nerdy side really comes in. I'm like, oh, this is cool. This has a behavior. The outside wants to shrink and the inside wants to expand. And yeah, I kind of was like, this color is nice, but this one is nice too. And that one is nice too. Okay, let's try them all and let's send it over. Yeah, make some shoes out of it. But often it's so...
And this production was done in your laboratory. That you have your company is called Knit in Motion. So you were establishing your Knit in Motion and then starting to have a collaboration opportunities.
So yeah, absolutely. And how I guess like the idea of using spacer, if I can dive into it a bit further, it has a cushioning effect, so it's quite three-dimensional.
Yeah.
So what I found interesting for Timberland is to kind of create this shoe that kind of comes almost out of the machine, ready as such, try to implement as much in the knit as possible. So you can see it here. It's a one-piece upper, where like it's not like a lot of pieces put together, but it is like one piece, which we really wanted to do, and have this folded gusset where the spacer is implemented. So it's like you have those thicker parts and more thinner parts, and it really comes together like in one cold boots.